is Truth podcast, where we discuss a wide range of topics through the lenses of faith, manhood, and genuine truth. What is truth? It's a question and statement rooted in John 18, verse 38. And similar to our Lord and Savior, we come to bear truth. I'm your host, Xavier Walker.
And I'm your co-host, Devon Surreal. We thank you for tuning in. Now let's gear up for the truth.
Welcome back to another episode of What is Truth podcast. My name is Xavier Walker.
I'm Devon Surreal.
Yes, and we are your host. Man, it's been, I feel like we're making some progress, you know. I definitely feel like we're making some progress.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody who's liking videos on all our platforms. Commenting and subscribing. I'm over here. But thank y'all, for real. We appreciate everybody's support.
Real talk.
We appreciate everybody's support. Again, you know, we're doing this just to get out what God placed in our hearts and, you know, just to share what we have going on in our lives, just to share our perspectives and just to add value to everybody's life.
Real talk. We definitely appreciate y'all. Everybody that's liked, commented, subscribed, everybody that's following us on Facebook, Instagram, you know, we really appreciated TikTok. You know, a lot of it was us stepping out of our own comfort zone just to even bring you this type of material. You know, getting, you know, my man X literally had to form a TikTok, literally had to make an IG.
Lord Jesus.
So, you know, we coming out the woodworks. We just trying to give y'all real gems, real stuff that y'all can run with. We building here, so, you know, we appreciate the support. If there's anything y'all want us to talk about, any topics that you haven't heard from us, any guests that you specifically would like us to get, you know, like drop it down in the comments. You know,
Yes,
we working.
Yes.
Yep.
And also, drop it down in the comments, email us.
Yep.
You know, something. You know how to reach me.
Smoke signal,
you know.
Yep. Flip them birds.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. So we're excited today. Today we're gonna, you know, do a little mix up. You know, we're gonna talk a little bit about dating.
Yep.
So today's episode is Dating 101.
Well, we in class in session.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yes, we're gonna talk about dating. I thought, you know, this was a good topic. You know, just to talk about dating and just the beginning of dating and everything.
Yeah.
Because I think dating now is each generation's perspective of dating gets different.
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid, you know, you made a playlist for somebody. You know, you used to make playlists.
You had the little fortune cookie. You know, you fold it like, do you like me?
Oh yeah, the little yo, that's throwback with the colors, the numbers. Wow.
Do you want to be my girl? Check this box.
Right. That's a fact. We used to pass messages. Do y'all still pass messages? Y'all if there's
on
kids
IG?
watching. Yeah, I'm
go
tripping.
down in the DM, man.
I was about to say, you used to go down in the classroom. I used to be like, yo, pass this over there. Yeah. To what's her name? You know,
not the shorty to the left, not her.
Right. Man, if your joint got to the wrong person.
Oh, yeah.
You talk about mad. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
but
that's crazy.
Yeah, man, we want to crack open that conversation and dive into that, dating because, you know, I mean, even as you get older, I mean, I know you.
Oh, yeah. I've been off the market for a while.
Ladies, take a step back.
It's funny because, you know, me and my wife celebrated 10 years of marriage last year. So, you know, that's dope.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. But yeah, I've been out of the dating scene for a while, but I still remember the courting process. You know, not much has changed as far as like, you know, the key elements of, you know, like how you treat a lady. And one thing about marriage, you know, to be honest with you, you and that person are growing so much together. Things are changing so much. The person I was in my 20s, 20 to 23 isn't the same person as I was 24 to 27, isn't the same person I was 28 to 31, isn't the same person I am, getting ready to turn 33. Things
Ooh.
change, man.
Ooh.
We elevate, we grow, man. So like understanding that and being able to be, evolve with your partner, that's big. So like you constantly dating that person, getting a degree and understanding who that person is. So
Right.
like the dating process actually really never stops, man.
Boy, that boy died. He dove in there.
Yeah.
I said, we supposed to put our big toe in. He said, look, bro, I know all about this. This is a topic that I know well. But see,
Yeah, man.
not the kids. Not the kids.
Trick love the kids.
Oh man. But so when is it a good time to ask someone on a date? Like when you can remember, like how was it when I'm gonna bring you back to the Stone Ages. But how was it when you first asked Tay on a date? How was that?
Man. Dog, you taking me back, man.
Hey, let's go back. We in a time machine.
We've been rocking together since we've been on the block since free lunch. So, that means high school days. So, man, you asking me to bring back our throwback story. What's our story, man? So, like
first date. You got a first date story? I don't want to hear no hood stuff.
I got a first meeting story.
All right, let's hear that.
Like,
let's hear that.
Me and Tay, we met back in 11th grade. So,
Okay.
like I'm 15, she's 16, somewhere in that ballpark, right? The first time I seen her, like she was new, like I was already going to the school. She just transferred there. So, she asking me like, hey, recognize that we rode the same bus in a similar neighborhood. And you know what spot our bus is in? And I'm like, in the same spot it's always in. Like, what you talking about? She took a look at me, hit me with the bird.
Oh, she did? Oh,
yeah. She was like, F you, man. Because, that was that sarcasm in
right.
me, But from that moment on, I made it my business to sit beside her, irk her nerves. And, every day I sit beside her and, that chemistry eventually built, And then, I don't know, I want to say our first date was like going to like one of them carnivals or something like one of them
the state fair or something like
that. A level below the state fair.
The county fair.
Yeah.
Okay, went to the county. All right. When the rides be shaking like a
Yeah, man. So,
man.
that's how that rolls. So, yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna try to remember my first date. My first date that I ever been on. I think it was Applebee's. I think I was like 15.
2 for $20.
Yeah, you know it. Yeah. Look,
my baby back
ribs. The 2 for $20 was rocking. You know what I'm saying? Because they did breakfast. They did an appetizer, an entree, and dessert. So you know what I mean? Like I did something like that. I don't know if it was
up the Applebee's and was like, "Baby, you can have whatever you like."
Nah, it definitely wasn't. I was like, Dad, let me get $50. Dad, let me hold some. But yeah, that was probably my first date. I was probably 15. I took the young lady out to Applebee's. We had a good time. It was nice, But I think the right time to ask someone on a date is just, when the connection's there, because sometimes you start off as friends, and sometimes, like for you and Tay, it's like, it started off on some, sarcasm, joking, and it was like, oh, I kind of like that, and it's like, so, when the sparks is flying, so, when the sparks is flying, and sometimes sometimes you just got to take a chance.
Yeah. But you got to choose wisely now, young boy.
Yeah.
In 2023, like the dating scene can get expensive,
Yeah, man.
You really need to vet these women because I ain't gonna lie, man, they'll get a free meal out of a brother, like real quick.
Sir.
You take them out to Fleming's, drop that $200-$300 and they'll be gone. Like, still
Look.
eating your steak the next day and blocking your phone calls, my brother.
I had a cousin that told me. I said I had a cousin, like he ain't still alive. Lord, my bad, cuz. But I have a cousin that told me one time. He said, "Look, if you can't go get a burger and a shake with her, she ain't it." And I was like, it really hit me, like, man, because I'm not saying that that's every date, but fellas, don't be like he said, don't be spending $200-$300 on a first date, bro. Don't do it. I mean, unless your pockets is deep like that, and unless that don't affect you, I mean, hey, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, that's like playing with penny stocks. I'm just let me just throw money at this. Let me just buy the next cryptocurrency and you hoping it blow up. Like, like if you invest in your time, your money, your resources into a female, make sure she's worth it. Make sure she, at least to your knowledge at that point, make sure that she's worth it. Because, I mean, we ain't got no crystal balls or nothing, but I'm saying, like, man, $300, $100 here, $200 there, $300 there, and then, they be hooping for their Super Bowl. We all know what their Super Bowl date is. That's February 14th.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So spend your money wisely, man.
Yeah, I think, and that doesn't mean like a first date. And I'm talking to the men now.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the first date should be, Applebee's neither, because I mean, ain't nothing wrong with Applebee's. Ain't nothing wrong with Applebee's.
I mean, if Applebee's is your budget, my guy, Applebee's is your budget. I respect.
Hey, look, bro. If Applebee's is your budget, cook for her. Okay, cook for her.
Yeah,
I think that's my opinion. If it was between Applebee's and me cooking, I'm gonna cook.
Yeah.
Because I could spend that same maybe $40, $50. Yeah. I think probably like $40, $50 at Applebee's. I could make you a slamming meal with $40, $50. Yeah. Come on, man. Yeah. So I mean, and there's nothing wrong with cooking for the first date. You know, get you a nice bottle of wine.
Yeah, shows that you got some skills.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Look up a recipe on YouTube or whatever, platform you want to look it up on and make something. Because, I mean, it's a more intimate setting. And but then again, women, they don't be
spot now.
Yeah.
If you at mama's house,
Mama said you cooking for us?
House for tonight? That might not work.
Boy, you cooking for us? Nah, but man, I think that's important, man. Not to spend too much, but also not to be like super cheap. Because that's not, you don't.
You remember in our last episode we was talking about manhood. I feel like this is one of those things. Like, as a man, make sure you passing down at least one good, like, my step back Kobe, my step back Jordan. Meal to your kid. Make sure your son know how to cook that one meal. Like,
one meal.
Hey man, if you ain't got nothing else, you can make this jerk chicken for.
What's your meal?
I would have to say it's either like it's something Caribbean, because like my dad, he's from Dominica, so that's like one of the Caribbean islands. Mm-hmm. So my step back meal is like some brown stewed chicken, some smoked jerk wings, something like that. So that's. If I'm cooking with something, that's my go-to. I don't know what yours may be. It could be, your people out there in, movie land, TV land. It could be, Parmesan chicken. I don't know, but whatever know how to do it well and execute that thing, my brother, because it's gonna be important that you show that woman that you know how to prepare at least one meal.
Yeah,
at least one.
Yeah. I think mine, I mean, I could cook a number of different things, but I would say a pan-seared salmon.
Pan-seared salmon.
Pan-seared salmon, I'll get that thing right.
Yeah.
I have it, man, I get that thing right with some, I could do any size, some asparagus, some rice, Brussels sprouts, however you want to do it, the honey glaze, the honey balsamic glazed Brussels sprout, however you want it. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely do my thing in the kitchen, man. That's one thing that
that's what's up.
Pride myself in being able to, you can't have this
gut. Fellas, if you struggling with cooking in the kitchen, I encourage you to at least learn how to grill.
Yes.
Learning how to grill, like, hey man, like it just takes a few minutes out there.
Yeah.
Long as the weather ain't something too crazy, you can get out there. Man, you can even make salmon on the grill and it'll
Yes.
taste banging. So, give
Salmon,
it that
chicken,
smoke flavor.
corn. I mean, it ain't too many things you can't make on a grill.
Yeah.
You
That's
could
100.
cook baked beans on the grill.
Yeah.
Everything.
Real talk.
So, but yeah, man, dating is, I think for me, dating, it can be difficult. You definitely have to start off with a list.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you got to start off with a list of what you want in a person. If
Yeah.
you don't start off with a list, you're gonna be swinging at air. You're not hitting nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you got to start off with a list of what you want.
Yeah.
If you don't have a list, it's over. And I think that's a lot of people's problem as far as dating. They don't have a reference point. Like you said, you mentioned earlier, vetting people. Yeah. Vetting people is like interviewing, like having a checklist. Yeah. Having a list like, hey, these are my requirements. These are my non-negotiables. These are things I can be flexible with. You have to have those particular things that in your life where, this is non-negotiable. So, for example, for me, being able to cook, that's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
I'm just that
man said the way to his heart is through his stomach.
You know what I'm saying? If you can cook, holla at your boy. No, it's like but on some real, like it's what was some of your non-negotiables?
I would say like, man, everything with me, it really builds on loyalty. So like you gotta show me that you can be loyal, that you are trustworthy, that your character is like, that you just not some floozy out here, because a lot of girls,
that's an old word, floozy.
Hey man, we gotta take it back sometime, man. Like, that was the old school word of thought.
Right.
You gotta show that you got some character, that you got a head on your shoulders, that that us coming together is, going to make our lives better.
Yeah.
Because literally the Bible talks about a man that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. So I'm looking to, you, as a man, you should be looking to build something, and you got to find out the person that I'm vetting, is this somebody I can really build with? You got to, as somebody that's grounded, you got to understand your foundation, and you got to check out her foundation.
Right.
And inspecting that foundation is the mindset. Like looking at her, like, what is her mindset really hitting on?
Yeah.
Like, do she really, like, what are the things that she prioritizes in life and that she considers to be high value?
That's good. Yeah. That's good. You gotta.
Remember what Denzel said? It's not gonna be her body that raises your children.
Right.
It's gonna be that mind.
Woo.
Like, yeah.
And that's another thing. You gotta look at somebody that that matches where you are, or I mean, for the ones who want to marry up, gotta marry somebody who is where you want to be. But you gotta think about will she be a good mother? Because this is literally the representation of, who's going to represent you when you're not around. And vice versa for women, get a man who, like, hey, I know he's a good man. I know he's going to act right when I'm not around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And present himself the same way as when I am around. So that's very important.
Quick question. So, like, when you vetting and you looking at, a particular woman, are you looking into their family? Are you looking into their friends, their social circle?
Oh, we diving in.
Man,
we diving in.
We really putting on the binoculars and seeing what their life look like.
I'm looking at everything, and I'm not looking for perfection. I have a list. Like I said, I have a list. And so I'm like this. I'm like, so yes, I definitely look at the family. That's one thing.
Yeah.
My grandfather always told me, like, hey, look at what family you marrying into.
Yeah.
Look at, the mother, the father. Is the mother and father there? Look at all of that matters to a degree. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be with somebody who doesn't have both parents, but it matters, and I'm not.
It matters in the sense that you got to know what you're getting yourself into.
Yes.
Because if there is some type of hurt there, if there is some type of daddy issues, are you yourself equipped enough to love them through a deficiency
or mommy issues?
Yeah.
Or mother issues. Yeah. I mean, you got mama's boys. Got the mama's boys.
It's real.
Real. So yeah, I definitely look at the friends who she surrounds herself with. I look at the fact, whether or not she prioritizes God, whether she prioritizes family.
Yeah.
Like I said, you have to have a list. I look at a woman's integrity. How often she be out in these streets?
Yeah.
And
she clubbing you got to club every single weekend.
Yeah.
Every single if she's attracted to certain to be honest with you, as a guy, you probably should always start with the last 1 to 3 relationships. How did those go?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can see, the guy and like what she's telling you is like, nah, that guy lucked up. He left you for a reason because you just ain't getting it.
Yeah.
So you gotta really do your research. You gotta really find out, what their habits is. Like, does her core beliefs line up with your core beliefs?
Yes, that's so important.
Yeah.
That's like that's some of the things I look at too. Our core beliefs. Yeah. We gotta believe, similar things. I can't be on the opposite end of everything that my woman believes. I can't do it, because then it becomes, later on in a relationship, there's like a raft there. Like, it's like a what do you call it? Tug of war.
Yeah, it's so funny because like from the word's perspective, gotta let you marry who you want to marry,
right?
Whether they
and they're covered too
or don't believe.
Right.
But just know what you're getting yourself into when you marry somebody that doesn't believe how you believe. Yeah. Like, it's important for you to really like investigate that and make sure y'all on the same page, because once you take that step, it's never God's intention for divorce to, come into play. So understand that once y'all two join together and become that one flesh,
right,
that y'all really need to be on the same page when it comes to those things.
That's what you call being equally yoked.
Yeah.
Being equally yoked.
It's not just in relationships, even in friendships, even in business endeavors. You need to make sure y'all are on the same page, y'all on the same wavelength, that y'all really vibe together.
Yeah, that's true. It's very important because, if you don't make sure those things, you're going to pay for it in the end. Yeah. You're going to pay for it. And then, we wonder why, hey, this relationship didn't work out. Well, did we properly vet this person to make sure this is what I want, this is who I want? And then we end up blaming that person when it's us, too.
Yeah. You ignored every red light that you ran through.
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought she'd do me like this. Well, what happened, back in that early dating phase when you ignored how she responded to that?
Right.
And how she responded to this. And how gotta basically like pull up your life and replay all the scenarios where you ignored before the final commitment, before the joining together, that you avoided all the red flags. So it's really important for you to pay attention. Like, man, allow the Holy Spirit to tell you whether that's the girl or not. Because, you can bond yourself to a woman, and next thing you know, you losing half of everything you own. Like, whew, man, I'm in real estate, and to be honest with you, you'd be surprised, like, how often the guys like, whatever she want. Like,
you can have whatever you like.
Man, you lose half your stuff in a blink of an eye. The goal is to build, not to, tear down.
Yes.
The Bible talks about a foolish woman tears down her own house with her own hands.
Yes.
So, so make sure, you're picking the right one.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Very important. Very important. But, like dating, getting to the right person, having those those bullet points and those vetting questions. You have to ask the hard stuff. Now I'm at a point where I'm like, hey, I want to know all your stuff up front. Just let me know everything up front.
Give me the skeletons.
Yes, give it to me raw.
Good,
I'm gonna give you
and the
mine.
ugly.
Right, good, bad, ugly. I'm gonna give you mine. You give me yours. That's where I'm at with it. It's like, because at the end of the day, nobody wants to waste time. Nobody wants to be in a place where it's like, why you ain't tell me this? You knew you was like this. You knew. Why you ain't just tell me straight up this is what you was, And so I asked the hard questions up front.
Yeah.
I'd be like, look, you and your daddy get along?
Mm-hmm.
I asked them. I'd be like, do you eat out more, or do you cook more? Like, which one? Because fellas, you got to pay attention to how women too. People have to pay attention to how a person spends money while they're in a relationship. I know some of y'all like, oh, that doesn't matter because it's just starting or whatever, but it matters. It matters.
It matters how you treat everything that's of value.
Everything.
So
everything is value.
What's your body count?
Ooh, God.
Is that in a man's eyes? That might be the most precious thing about you. Your virtuity.
You done went there.
So it's
Lord,
like, hey,
what's too much?
Was this virtue? Did you save it for marriage, or was you passing it out to everybody?
Yeah.
So these are the deep questions. That
deserves a little.
Hey, I know
when you ask that question, they're like, I don't want to answer that. Or some people are like, why does it matter?
Why does it matter? Yeah. Nah, but it's real because that's the worst feeling for a guy to like really be in love, be really 10 toes down for a woman, and she out in the streets and another dude seeing you with her and just laughing. Like, he's just laughing. Oh, he like that jank?
Yeah, that's not a good
feeling, man.
Yeah.
That jank will make you sick to your stomach.
That is not a good feeling.
Make sure that the woman you building with, that y'all really got some trust going on. Y'all really staying in a commitment together. And that, monogamy is not, an issue.
Right.
Because, like I said, that, boy, don't know hurt like woman hurt. When you got to ask them questions for real. So, did you sleep with them? Man, don't not hurt like that, man. So
we gonna dive in, because that, man, you done struck a nerve. Some people watching like, man,
I can't believe they.
Yeah.
I thought y'all was Christian. Thought y'all believed in the Lord.
Yeah, you stupid.
Man, God will be real with you, like God. Yeah, the Holy Spirit will let you know that ain't the woman for you.
Yeah,
she, because it's real. Because like, literally, you can build up this thing called soul ties with people. These people that you having, sex with, you having these intimate relationships with.
Talk on it.
Like, you build up so many soul ties. It's like, you don't really know who you are.
Right.
Because you done been with so many men, or even as a guy, you done been with so many women that you done gave a little bit of a piece of yourself to everybody.
Yeah. And
you done received a little bit of somebody else's self to you. So it's like, you ever notice when you really dating somebody, they begin to learn your slang. Yeah. They say some of your favorite words. They do some of your things. So that stuff, you rubbing off on each other.
Right.
So the truth be told, like, if either person has had too many relationships and they haven't, reconciled with God, their identity and who they are can be in jeopardy, because it's like, God has to reconcile somebody who's really been around too much, because you done potentially built up so many soul ties that you need deliverance from those people that you were in a relationship with.
Boy, you diving in.
Hey, man, we cooking with fish grease. Cooking with fish grease.
My man done went into the soul ties.
Hey, man, it's real.
It is. It is. And like, you done touched on a number of different things, the deliverance from the soul ties. Man, you on plan, man. He came in this episode like, look, I know a couple things.
Hey, it can get real out here.
Nah, it can for sure.
Because to be honest with you, this goes for male or female. You know, like this person, you can be in a relationship, and this is some of the reasons why some relationships don't work, because you done had sex with Jody over here, and now you're trying to make it work with John over here, but you can't stop thinking about Jody over there. But Jody over there wasn't sugar, honey, and iced tea.
Right.
Like he didn't have nothing together, but you can't get him out of your soulish realm because you have a soul tie with him. You got to break those soul ties, and it's better if you never establish them in the first place, because it's not an extra hurdle to have to get over once you reach an age where you should be pursuing marriage.
Yeah, because you don't want to have to tackle your demons and another person's demons. It's just too much. Yeah. It's too much.
So 7 times 7.
Yeah, so
they coming.
Trying to warn people, people who do know and people who don't know, remind those who do know and warn people who don't know about that, because it's real. Yeah. It's real, having those soul ties and attachments to other people. And like you touched on something that was important, not being over one person and getting into a relationship with another person.
That rebound.
Yeah, it's serious, man. I heard I was watching a clip on YouTube where this young lady was like, I've been dating my boyfriend for 2 years, but I'm still thinking about my ex. And I'm like, how is that possible?
2 whole years, man.
Like, how, like that
means,
just imagine being her man and you see
like,
and you see it's not a good look.
Oh, I couldn't imagine, because as a man, I'm like, that basically lets you know at any point, Jody from around the way can hit her up and, be back in the middle, back in the mix.
Now you keep saying Jody, man. Is there a Jody?
Nah, I'm just, I'm fresh off, fresh back from the military. Jody is pretty popular. Jody's at home banging your woman right now. So, unfortunately, that's the famous military saying.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, when you away, when you on deployment. But that's important to like really make sure you have that level of relationship with your family, built that type of bond, that type of intimacy, where even if y'all separated, that y'all thinking about each other and y'all on each other's mind, that you constantly bigging that woman up and growing your relationship even though there's distance, because that's a real thing. Because if you're in the military or if you work a job that you're going on the road, a lot of y'all might be truck drivers, CDLs popping right now, so I understand. But understand, you got to build that intimacy. Yeah. And as a man, you got to take time to like really understand courtship. Even once you already got the woman, like you might need to line up like flowers to be delivered on a certain day. Yeah. You might need to hit up edible arrangements. That means that you actually have to sit down and plan these things out, because you already going to be out and gone and in the mix. You need to let that woman know you thinking about her even when you thousands of miles somewhere else.
Yeah. That's very important. Women love that, just to know that, she's on your mind, because the reassurance. Because a lot of these women been, hurt in previous relationships, or sometimes even hurt by her own father, where he didn't provide the stability for her. So it's like, I really can't trust men, or,
they want to be appreciated.
Yeah, they want to feel appreciated, respected, loved on. Yeah. And that reassurance means everything. Yeah. That reassurance is everything. So when we're talking about dating, like, who should pay for the first date?
You should. The man should.
The man should?
Yeah. If you can't afford to pay, you should be cooking. You should, like you said, cooking, putting something together.
Now, what if she asks you, though? Like, what if...
Huh?
What if she asks you?
She asked me out?
Yeah, what if she asks you
if she's trying to floss and, like, show me that she different, that's cool, but 99% of the time, you should pay.
Now, how does it look if you don't?
If you don't pay?
Yeah, like, how does it look if you don't? Like... Because you got this thing, right, called toxic masculinity. And so some women feel like, you know, as a man, like as a woman, I should be able to do the same things. So what if I want to pay for the first date?
I see women use that and go down that type of lane often, but to be honest with you, a lot of times at that point is when they don't use it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
they just use
they
it
want the
when
benefits until it's
Got
like,
you,
nah,
got you.
they not with that. Like,
Okay.
I mean, there's probably some women out there that don't mind paying, but
Yeah.
generally, when it comes to that equality talk,
Yeah.
when it comes to paying, they
It
still
ain't-
want it to be on a
yeah,
man. They
yeah.
still want to. They want to, they want to feel secure. So, like, I mean, you may have some scenarios where, that's fine that they
Yeah.
got it and they got it and they got plenty of it. That's cool.
Yeah.
But you want to be able to show that you provide a level of value
Right.
to that woman.
And security.
Yeah.
That's
That's
what
not
I think.
always financial.
Yeah.
But you can show your worth. You got to understand your worth as a man and understand how to communicate that through actions. Yeah, specifically through actions. And one of those actions is just having basic chivalry, opening the doors, like I got that. Just showing, you're I do, you got decent manners. I'm not saying you got to be perfect, but you got to show, that your mom and dad raised somebody that's decent.
Right.
Seriously. That you ain't a dirtbag.
I
There's some dirtbags out there.
Nah, they are. I think it could go either way. Like, I wouldn't if she was like, nah, I got this. First date, and I'll be shocked. I kind of like, but I'll be like, you know what? I'll let it happen.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest, I ain't never had that. So I wouldn't know what it's like. But if it happened to me, I'm not gonna, turn it down. Like on the first date, I'm accepting it. I'm telling you right now.
Say, I'm turning into J. Cole. I ain't never did this before.
Because I know for a fact that I'm not just there for a meal.
Yeah.
So it's like, if she's willing to invest,
you hooping, you bringing out all the intellectual.
Yeah, and another thing, it's like it's nothing wrong with if this is further kind of in the relationship, but there ain't nothing wrong with a dude paying and then a woman paying, giving a tip if that's where y'all at. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you don't ever want to be in a situation, especially when you're just dating, when a year go by and you paid for everything and she ain't paid for nothing.
Yeah, she ain't got no skin in the game.
That's a red flag, my boy.
That don't work. That don't fly in business.
That's a red flag.
One of the things, I'm getting into flipping houses, and one of the big things is having some type of down payment, because it's having skin in the game, showing that you're lenders and showing them that you're invested in this project as well. Same thing in relationships, showing that you have some type of skin in the game. When I look at me and Tay's relationship in our younger years and our teens, I would pay for a lot of the meals. She would cover the tips. There's cycles and seasons. There's times where even when I look at our stuff now, like for the most part, for the majority of, I've always paid for the larger bills. Like 99.9% I've paid the mortgage. And I ain't got no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. That's what I'm supposed to handle. She's always, took care of the little bills, made sure the water, the electricity, all that stuff is covered.
Yeah.
And, we divvy up. We let each other know, like, hey, like I'm covering this daycare, or I need, like it all really boils down to communication. But, I pray that, majority men would be in a situation where they can do that. But at the end of the day, truth be told, when you becoming one, finances for the most part merge together.
Right.
So your money becomes her money becomes your money, and y'all doing this together to get these bills knocked out, get these trips planned, all that stuff. Like, it really shouldn't be no issues. But understand, and we live in America, the
Right.
divorce rate is at 50%, and a huge cause of that is finances.
Yeah.
So,
and that's a problem,
Yeah.
that a lot of people have, and that's why we talked about it in the beginning about the financial piece. It's important to know, how does this person spend money? Because if you watch, if every day she's having an Amazon package delivered,
Lord,
what
not
you're getting.
Amazon.
That's
boy.
what you don't think it's gonna change 5 years down the line if you don't address it. Don't think it's gonna just pop up and change. So you just gotta know, and I'm not taking no shots at nobody, but you just gotta know what you're dealing with before you step in the ring with that person and
That's
say,
very
hey,
true.
we're gonna do this thing called life together.
Yeah.
So.
Because life is long.
Yeah.
When we was young, we thought life was short. Like, we come from different backgrounds, and it could have been a different rough upbringing. But, you was happy to make it to 18. You was happy to make it to 21. Now you're happy to make it to 30. But the truth be told, you can live this thing out to 70 plus, 80 plus, 90 plus. Finding somebody to do life with is crucial. It's crucial.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Like, finding somebody, I would put this up there with finding your faith. Like, finding your relationship with God and finding the woman or the spouse to spend your rest of your life with. These are two crucial things that you need to get down pat, especially as a man or as a woman.
Yeah. Would you say it was easier that you did it at a younger age than?
There's a thing called doing it scared. I did it scared. Like, I didn't know if I was really making the right choice to get married. I got married had just turned 21, I believe, or just turned 22. I believe I had just turned 22 or 21. Or whether it don't matter. That's super young.
You was fresh.
Yeah, I was real fresh. Like, I just got saved probably maybe only a year or two before that, 19, 20. So, like, I'm fresh from partying Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday evening. So, like, I was giving up this to really build a family, to really have life on the better side of things. And this is what, God was redefining life for me and showing me what the good life is and could be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was doing it scared. Like, I don't know if I'm really making the right decision or not. But I can say 10 years later, it's paying dividends.
We
going on a trip, we got a trip lined up this weekend. Like, kids taken care of, we out of here.
You're outside.
We going to the bay.
You're big outside. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yeah. But I know we touched on this a little bit earlier, but, I want to talk about, like, red flags in dating. Like,
yeah. They're real.
It's so important to pay attention to those red flags and those different warning signs that you see. And that doesn't mean that, the red sign could be like stop and leave, but it could also mean like stop and address this.
Yeah.
Because if
some
some
stuff
things
need to be nipped in the bud right away.
Right. If some things aren't addressed and spoke about early, then it keeps going and it gets worse.
Yeah.
That's very true. So it's very important to know those red flags. For me, like, some red flags are, just a woman who doesn't love God or doesn't have, isn't pursuing a relationship with God. Like, that's a red flag for me.
That's a red flag for
anybody who, can't keep a job or isn't ambitious.
Doesn't have an ambition. Yeah.
Man, the lack of ambition, bro,
God.
that's one of my
especially
big ones.
Because it's funny because we're both entrepreneurs, right? So, to be honest with you, you even need, as an entrepreneur, you need to vet your woman to see if they can handle life with an entrepreneur.
Yes, that's
because it's a lot of ups and downs with that. And when it's up, it's popping.
Yeah.
Bags every day if you want to.
But
when it's down, it could be like, I need you to understand this is a season where we're cutting back, we're conserving.
So true.
Because if you're not, if their mindset isn't, built for that, then they might not be a fit for you, especially as an entrepreneur. But there's definitely some red flags, like you said. Lack of ambition. No relationship with God.
If
I would
you
say
like arguing,
promiscuity. Definitely.
That's good. That's good.
Hey, and we like our cookies over here. If that cookie is being passed out to everybody, I'm sorry. That's not. That's not for me.
Yeah.
Maybe for somebody else.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
I don't want everybody and their mama to be looking at me like, I never had that jank. He ain't with nobody special. I don't want that feeling.
What they call it? A doorknob?
Everybody got a turn.
Yeah.
Everybody got a turn. We don't want that around here, man. So, make sure they have a relationship with God. Make sure that they understand what a Proverbs 31 woman is.
Mm-hmm.
That her virtue is more precious than, rubies and gold.
Yeah.
That's understanding value at a different level. Like, sometimes men are not looking for women to bring financial value. It's great. It's like kind of a plus if you can.
That's a plus, yeah.
But at the same time, if you understand where you really are valuable,
talk that talk.
If you understand, like, if you can, make my house a home,
give the peace.
Like Miles Monroe talks about it so much. He says that a woman will multiply whatever you give her. If I give you a house, you make it a home. I give you my seed, you bear children. Whatever you give a woman, she can multiply it.
Groceries, she make a meal.
Groceries make a meal. But if you give her a headache, she give you frustration.
That's a fact.
So it's like, you got to make sure that, that y'all can build together, that y'all can vibe with together, that y'all really on the same page when it comes to doing this thing called life.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what's going on in our society is that the dating scene is it's not dating with intentionality. So I'm just casually dating. So as a man, you casually wasting money. As a man, you're casually just picking up different soul ties. Everything you need to do needs to be with intention, with purpose, so that it has some type of end goal. It has some type of reward and prize at the end.
Yeah.
You don't need to be just doing anything just to be doing it.
Yeah.
Because, think about it. As a man, that's how you got in trouble. I don't like getting high, but I'm just going to keep getting high just to get high. Because that's what everybody else does. Be a leader, not a follower, especially in this generation.
Yeah, you hit on a good point. People out here just swinging at the air.
Yeah,
swinging at the air, not knowing, and that's why that brings me back to
out here shooting all types of clubs, in all types of scenarios, just shooting the club up. Next thing you know, you got a baby mama with.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's the fastest way to lose your wealth is having a child with the wrong woman.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so many times. So you just know if you out just shooting up the club, just know that you can have a child. And that person can make your life a living hell because if y'all core beliefs never aligned in the beginning, then it was a mistake, unfortunately.
Yeah, you don't want to make these mistakes, and how you don't make them is you do everything like you said with intentionality.
Yeah,
and
you turn into a home inspector. You inspect that foundation.
You have to do that, man. It's so vital. Like if this was information that I knew, I knew. I was never taught to date with intention. Yeah. It was just like, oh, I'm in a relationship, or I'm dating. What's the end goal? I mean, we having fun.
We vibing.
That's the word now. Everybody's like, I want to vibe.
Are you a vibe?
Yeah. It's like, what?
I'm a vibe. You a vibe. Let's vibe together.
What? What does that mean? What is the depth in the vibe?
Vibe away half of your wealth. Watch.
Right. And not even your wealth,
your peace,
but your peace, man. That's what I'm big on. Like just having a peace of mind. You want someone who is able, they don't have to be the sole individual or to give you peace, or you don't, but you want somebody to add to your peace, if that makes sense. You have to yourself have peace, but then also find someone that adds to that. You know, and you got to know your dislikes, your likes. You got to know you as well. I think it's important to have a season of singleness.
Yeah.
I know we're talking about dating, but it's also important to have a singleness in order to know yourself, in order to pick a partner. Because if
That's
you
true.
don't know yourself, you'll go
That's
out
so
here
true.
and get anything.
Yeah, before you date anybody, fellas, date yourself.
Yes.
Make sure you know who you are. Make sure you're comfortable with yourself. Because if you're comfortable with yourself, you won't fall victim to a shorty saying, you know, that's corny, that's whack.
Yeah.
You know, nah, okay. If that's how you feel, cool, you know, cool with you. But I'm gonna keep doing what, you know, God is telling me to do.
Right.
Make sure you're comfortable in your own skin.
Don't be afraid to be
Date
different.
yourself, fellas.
Don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to, you know, step out and not step out of a relationship, but I mean, like, you know, just step out of the crowd.
To a meal, man.
Step
like,
out from the crowd and be different.
Like, if dating yourself, like,
go to the bar by yourself. Go get a drink by yourself.
Go get you that steak dinner. You know that 16-ounce ribeye for yourself. Man.
An easy one is going to the movies by yourself. I think that's a good start.
Man.
A good start is going because it's like a bunch of people in the movie anyway, so it's like nobody know you by yourself. So just you know what I'm saying. Just you could start there if that's a problem for you. But you know, I know we spoke about red flags, and one thing I didn't touch on as far as like a red flag is like if you on a date and a person got their phone flipped over. or if they're on their phone all the time, like that's something that like super red flag for me. Like if we're out on a date,
my realtor's gonna hate that.
If you on a date,
we get so many messages. But,
you know what I'm saying. I hate like, you know, don't be all checking on your phone. You know,
sure
every couple
present.
of minutes. You know, you gotta be present.
You trying to, you know, eat into the meal. They like, hold on, gotta get a picture.
Gotta pick, be present, man. It's so important to be present in the moment. And so, that's one of the red flags for me too, man. Just not appreciating the person across from you and their presence and their time. You know, so that's so important as far as like, you know, red flags and everything goes. But I know we touched on a lot of things. I'm a transition though into like my own experience into dating because I know as everybody knows, Devon is married, and so I'm still out here, you know, kind of figuring it out.
Please,
I'm figuring it out
and weaving,
and you know, and it's been a journey. You know, a lot of things I wish I would have learned earlier, as far as like, you know, like you touched on dating with intention.
Yeah.
You know, that's so important as a man, just doing everything with intention, because in my 20s, you know, I was like, man, I just want to have fun. You know,
I just want to have fun.
I just want to have fun. And I quickly realized you gotta relax.
He's just out here.
Oh man, but you know, I just wanted to have fun, and you know, I was you know, in relationships, but I just wanted to have a good time. I thought about marriage, but I didn't. Yeah. You know, it was in the back of my head, you know, but you know, as you get older, you realize like if I had been more, and you know, hindsight is 20/20. Yeah. So you get older and you're like, man, if I had been more intentional, or if I wasn't so focused on my career, or, you know, maybe this area of my life would be more clear. Yeah. So it's definitely something that I'm still figuring out, and but I'm definitely in a space where it's intentional. Yeah. Like I'm not.
Everything's intentional at this point.
Yeah, and I have, like, and now it changes.
Goes off at 30.
Right, and now it changes because now I have a little one. So as soon as she was born, I'm just like, man, I really have to limit the mistakes and be more intentional. Like she definitely helped out with the intentionality and making sure that, you know, everything I'm doing is setting the right example for my daughter. So it as far as dating for me, like that's where I'm at.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
What's up?
How is it still dating your wife? Like how, you know. I know you touched on it a little bit as far as like,
Yeah, it evolves. So because you as a person, you're evolving. So I would say is having those date nights. Um, I recommend that any couple that's really dating for intentionality, I would recommend that you go through counseling, go through premarital counseling, go through counseling after marriage, because it'll give you a structure to follow.
Right.
Because even at this point where last time we've been to counseling maybe a couple months, and to be honest with you, maybe a year, but maybe we're due for another counseling. But I can say that the fact that I had that type of training allows me to take my wife out to a nice dinner and sit down and address the issues we got, and not be scared to say, hey, this is what I'm noticing.
That's good.
And for her to say exactly, this is what's going on with me, and this is what I need from you, and me not to shut down and really hear her out. That's big. It's that communication. You really have to grow up once you get into a marriage, because nobody's a mind reader. You can pick up on nonverbal cues, but nobody's a mind reader.
Yeah, I think it's very important to date while you're married, man, and that keeps the relationship fresh.
Exactly.
And then, like you said, you evolve as a person. You change. The person that you married 10 years ago ain't the same person today. Nah. And so, and I'm not an expert. I don't know what I'm saying, but I've heard enough people talk about marriage. I've been around enough married people to know, and I've seen examples, and for people who aren't married, because a lot of people say, well, you're not married, you can't talk about it. But the Bible says for a man to love his wife as Christ loves the church.
Yeah.
So all I have to do is look at Christ's relationship with the church and how he treated his church. That's all I have to do to see what a marriage should be like.
Amen.
And so
he was willing to lay down his life for the church.
And that means, fellas, we gotta leave the streets alone. That's what it means for real. Lay down your life, like to really
lay down your life. Is twofold.
It's twofold, yeah.
It means that literally I would take a bullet for this woman and these kids that she gave me. Right. But at the same time, I would kill my desires and lay down those as well.
Right.
I will leave the clubbing alone. I will leave the excessive drinking or drug usage alone to be the better man to my family.
Yeah. Yep. Hang that jersey up.
Yeah. I'm out the game.
Yep. You retired.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm ready for retirement.
Hey.
I'm ready for retirement.
Boy, he ready to put his jersey up in the rafters.
Hey, man.
My man said no more shootouts for me.
I done missed my whole mouth with the water. I'm over here like,
Oh, it's all good, man.
But yeah. Hopefully you guys are able to take what we, some of the gems that we dropped.
Hopefully, if you ain't get it from this, man, I don't know.
Some of the perspective that we gave.
This was college. This was dating 101.
Yeah, this is 101.
101.
You know what I'm saying?
You probably need a dating 102, 103, 104, 105. It can get real out here in these streets.
Step it up. But I think the issue with dating today is, like you touched on, it's non-intentional. It's all about vibing.
Yeah.
Sex is too commercialized. It's about sex.
Yeah.
It's about what you can do for me.
Yeah.
Because you got everybody, not everyone, but people post on Instagram and their social media platforms, the vacations and all of that. And it's like, I want my relationship to be like this. I want this type of relationship.
Everybody comparing IG to IG, which is somebody's highlight reel.
So it's I think that's the issue.
Yeah.
And not only that, I think we over communicate. And when I say over communicate, you have to give time for someone to miss you. A lot of times I hear people say, "Oh, I want a relationship like my grandparents or like the people that used to have back when they was married for 50, 60 years." But you got to realize these people that wasn't texting all day at work.
Yeah. They
missed each other. When that man got home from work and that woman got home from work, or however their setup was, they missed each other and they was able to talk about their day. But if I'm texting you all throughout the day, talking to you all throughout the day, and then I gotta get home to talk to you, it's like I got nothing to say. Men don't. Let me tell y'all something. Let me drop a jewel for all y'all women out there that do not know. There has been a study that men and women, so women speak 3 times as many words per day as men do. So I think for men it's like around like 7,000 words or something like that. Women speak 21,000 words a day. That's a study that was done like 2 years ago.
I believe it.
So I mean, for us, we ain't got that much to say now. So if y'all know this, stop calling your man while he at work all day. Stop texting him all day. You know, sometimes you have to wait. I mean, granted, I'm not saying don't hit him up at all, but let your significant other, your husband, your wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, let them miss you. Exactly. Let them miss you, because absence makes the heart grow fonder. Yeah. And if it don't, that's a sign. That's a sign.
Flag on the plate.
That's a sign. So you know, you don't want to. You want to give time to miss each other. Give time, you know, to just be thinking about, man, I wonder what they doing. You know, back in those days, you know, when you think about like our parents or grandparents, it's like they couldn't. The access wasn't there. Yeah. So you just had to imagine, and it's on your mind so heavy that once I see you, it's just like
it's on.
It's on. You know what I'm saying?
It's like once again, it's on.
But you know, it's very important, you know, to know the difference between you know, over communicating, not communicating enough, and just right. Yeah. And so I think, in my opinion, you know, having somebody that's always texting and all, you know, and when we was young, like, you know, when cell phones was popular, like that was cool, like you'd be texting all day. As you get older, you know what I'm saying, you
it's gonna be heavy on the beginning side, especially when you getting to know somebody. Yeah. You know, finding out somebody's whole life story, that takes time. Yeah. But, you know, that will decrease, and you have to find intimacy in another area. Right. One of the things that I would like to just leave y'all with, especially on the dating side, is dating with intentionality also takes a level of faith. Because the truth be told, until y'all become one flesh, until y'all join together and get married, there will be an element of that woman that's covered by God and sometimes not revealed to you until y'all get married.
Talk that talk.
So it's like, a lot of times people don't find that out about a person until they live together and like really like become one flesh. And I'm not just talking about shacking, even though that's not in the word, but I'm not talking about just shacking. I'm talking about once y'all become one flesh, once y'all get married, there will be a level of uncovering that you really get to see the vulnerability in each other's lives and really begin to understand and become one together. Yeah. So it's like, that's real, but it really takes a level of faith. What's happening in today's generation, they're getting that vulnerability before they take that leap of faith commitment. Right. And it's like,
I can't do that.
But it's supposed to be a level of faith, and y'all walking this thing out with intentionality, especially when it comes to dating, that God kind of covers this scenario. But when you think you know everything and you out here just, that throws things off. So I see a red flag in her that you was never supposed to see in the first place. Right. So it's like God has to unveil a woman, right? And that's the part where you getting married at the very end is an unveiling, right? So build that intimacy, have that relationship and understand, trust and have a firm relationship with God, because if you have a relationship with the Holy Spirit, He won't let you just marry the wrong person.
That's a fact. That's good, man. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, man. I think that was.
Yeah, I think we water whipped another one, man.
Yeah, we had with another one, but We love y'all. Again, we appreciate y'all.
That's 100.
Yes, and until next time, keep it true.
Yep.